Completion. You can tell when a person is complete with a lot of things in their lives because that's usually a person who doesn't dwell too much in the past and is not too anxious about the future and is usually very present and has a lot of joy. Becoming whole and complete with something or someone can be challenging since we are taught to not feel our feelings fully or to express ourselves or tell someone something that's on our minds. I used to be a very anxious and nervous person, and Reiki meditation and the Ho'oponopono prayer are some of the tools that I use throughout my life to feel more whole and complete. There was another tool that I learned in this course that I took years ago. It was in the Twin Towers, and the instructors taught us an exercise about how to become complete with someone. So one of the people I chose was my father at the time, since since I was about 12. We He stopped saying "I love you" to me, and then I stopped saying "I love you" to him back. So years went by, and then I was 30, and I decided, well, I want to break the ice with my father and tell him that I love him on the phone. So I remember calling him up and being very nervous about it, and just getting the courage to just tell him how I felt about all these years that went by without us saying I love you to one another, and how I made it mean that he stopped loving me, and then it made me very sad throughout the years. But that I also came to the realization that I made that up all in my mind and then it wasn't true. So I finally just said to him on the phone, "I love you." And he answered back, "I know, I love you too." So this did two things for me, two really good things for me. It made a relationship, uh, it strengthened our relationship. We became closer after that. And the other thing it did for me was to practice this in my life after that and to tell people how I felt sooner rather than later. And I applied this technique um, with my children as well. And I also rekindled a couple of old friendships. And I also became complete with an ex of mine. So, although I learned this at a young age, I am human. So when my father unexpectedly passed away from a heart attack, I had some regrets and I felt some guilt about um, how I was acting as a daughter toward him toward the end of his life, and that I wasn't there for him when I felt that he might have needed me. So I had some regrets over that and felt some guilt. So I did do the Ho'oponopono prayer over it and would feel complete, but then some time would go by and then um, would feel incomplete with it and been struggling with that. So I'm still trying to figure out how to become complete with my father while he's on the other side. But what I'm discovering about completion for me is that some things are easier to become complete with than others. And I'm just, I guess it's all a learning process. So, completion. Thank you.